Hello and welcome to V-Speed. Tonight, the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League, live from Long Beach here tonight for race 7 out of 10 this season. Looking forward to a very fun race here tonight at this legendary street circuit here in Long Beach. I am joined in the booth with Alec Martinez. Alec, this is your home track. What are you looking forward to here tonight?
Man, I don't know. I'm looking really forward to just to see if somebody can stop Steve Ficacci from winning another race and see what either Christopher Hill or Dietrich or else anybody else in this field can stop Steve Ficacci. He's been on a roll, won the last 3 races, and has led every single lap for the last 3 races. I'm not sure the math on that and what it's at, but he's been really unstoppable. He's been looking like Lewis Hamilton out here, just dominating every single race and being perfect, consistent, and clean. And this street course, man, it's awesome. It's a home track for road courses. I love this track. It's awesome. Wears out the tires from it being worn out streets that everyday people that drive to work or drive anywhere for a tourist attraction drive on these streets, and it gets cut off for a racing circuit. Every now and then, iRacing ends up scanning it, and I'm looking so forward to this. It's a tight course, and you got to be perfect here to win this race. You got to set all your lines right, got to hit them right. And those walls, anytime you cut them too close, those walls will get you in a hurry, and your car is done.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be precision is the name of the game here today, and these drivers they're trying to knock Steve Ficacci off the top step of the podium. Like you said, he's led every single lap of these last 3 races, has taken the victory in each of those. Christopher Hill, who we're looking at right here, he has come home runner-up in the last 2, and right behind him in the championship standings, Ficacci with the points lead, and going to be trying to hold on to that here tonight, hoping for no mistakes as we wind down the qualifying session. Ficacci once again is going to grab the pole. Christopher Hill will jump to second with that lap, still going to try and get another one in here along with a handful of other drivers, as we'll ride on board with him here around the fountain section of this racetrack. Such a cool area. You don't really get anything like that at any other track.
Sure, man, I love the fountain corner, especially. Fountain corner is such an awesome corner, and the camera angles that you can get from there, the cars going down there, it's just awesome. And this track is so cool. Got the Aquarium of Pacific right down. You can see it, I think, from the front stretch. You can see it. I think it's right in the middle of here. Got an awesome tourist track. Long Beach is so cool. They got a nice, let me tell you, just off of where this track is, about a few miles down the road, they got a nice seafood place. Got some amazing seafood and shrimp and all you can think of, caught fresh. It's good. I need to go back there.
Next time I'm in Long Beach, I'll try it out. This corner, Christopher Hill going around right here to get back onto the front stretch. That is going to be a very difficult one for these drivers to sort through. Going to be very tight, just about 180-degree corner, as Christopher Hill still second on the charts. Actually now jumps up to the pole, knocks off Steve Ficacci. 8/1000ths of a second. How close can you get? He was just about a 100th faster than his previous fastest, which was right there behind Ficacci. But that could change everything. Just starting up front.
We haven't seen Christopher Hill take the pole, and if this all goes according to plan, this will be the first time somebody's led other than Steve Ficacci in the last 3 races. It's going to be interesting here.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting. Let's take a look at the points. Pull those up right now. You can see Ficacci with the 4 race wins, 3 in a row, looking for his 4th in a row, which would make 5 total. Christopher Hill, the only other winner in this league this season, 2 victories, not too many points back, still in contention with 3 races following tonight. Darren Treacle, Adam Pohl, and Stefan Vapa round out the top 5 in the standings. You can see it falls off from there, and then very tight battle from about 13th back to 19th in the points. Those guys are going to be fighting for everything here tonight. As we head to the starting grid, let's take a look at where your favorite drivers are going to be rolling off here tonight. Like we said, Christopher Hill grabbing the pole 8/1000ths faster than Steve Ficacci, who will join him on the front row. Starting in 3rd tonight, Darren Treacle, Aaron Dietrich going to be starting in the 4th position. Rafael Torres is going to be starting in 5th in the 777 machine, and Dean Tulien starting in 6th. Starting in 7th here tonight, Stefan Vampa. Rolling off 8th, going to be Michael Pavolano. 9th position, Brian Kennedy. And rounding out the top 10, it's going to be Clint Fletcher.
Adam Pohl starting 11th. Peter Lanik starting 12th. Colin Kortnick 13th. Mike Nickham 14th. David Curtis 15th. Peter Yerksa 16th. Barry Bocaner 17th. Sten Salier 18th. Matthew Stover in 19th. And Robert Benson rounding up the top 20.
21st, Nicholas Matthews. 22nd, Carlos Bonds. And that'll do it here. 22 drivers, a few less than the last couple of races, but should still make for some great action with this tight circuit. Waiting for that safety car to get rolling off here. Looks like we were waiting on a couple drivers to grid up. But, and really looking forward to this one. Want to thank the sponsors of the series, of course, SEO Mike and Beltway Brewing Company. You'll hear more from them during the halfway break. But a 40-minute race, going to have to be pretty much perfect out here. Not a lot of margin for error as we do get rolling. At least Ficacci gets rolling. Here we go, Christopher Hill.
Talking here in the driver's meeting before we got going here, they're going to try something a little different here with the start, because of that tight turn 11 off the corner. So expect something different here for the start, and they're going to go single file here. I'm not sure what else they're going to do, but I did hear that they will be going single file here until the end of the hairpin.
Yeah, I know they had been discussing that the last few days just to try and avoid chaos here on the start. Rounding turn 11. Towards the start finish. Off and away. Green flag in the air. There we go. Single file start. A little bit different than what we're accustomed to seeing. See the pit road with the safety car on it there. As Christopher Hill leads the way down into turn number 1.
Yeah, he got a nice start. Obviously, single file is going to help that, but we've seen here Ficacci hasn't been put in this position yet, having to chase down somebody for the lead here as they go into turn 5 and going into off of turn 4 now into turn 5.
Yeah, Ficacci is all over him right there. It had a little bit of a better section through the fountain area down into turn number 6 and 7. That's still Christopher Hill hanging on to it, but they are breaking away now from Darren Treacle, who's holding on to 3rd solidly, and Aaron Dietrich, Rafael Torres maybe going to start to do some battle here soon as the top 5 have pulled away.
For sure is at least somebody about to hit the wall there in turn 8. Cutting that wall really close, as you can see these drivers really trying to get all they can get as we go into the hairpin in turn 11 for the first time in race conditions.
So difficult to get back on the throttle there. You saw Ficacci spin the back tires a little bit. Oh, we do have a car in the wall. That was Dean Tulane. Hit the left front on the outside wall, but able to hang on to 6th. And nobody able to take advantage.
Yeah, these cars really got to get a lot of turn in there to get these cars to fully make a full successful rotation around that corner, and cut just too close and clip that right front there. But looks like everything's fine on his end. As we can see, for the first time in the last 3 races, Christopher Hill has led a lap, and he is the first person not named Steve Ficacci to lead a race that we've broadcasted. So, man, interesting.
Yeah, first lead change in 4 races now. That's something that you don't hear for many racing series or leagues. That just shows how dominant Ficacci has been, and Christopher Hill, try as he might these last few weeks, has not been able to get in front of him, but he's got that spot right now as the top 5 continuing to pull away. They are in a league of their own right now. Dean Tulane leading the second group of race cars. Stefan Vampa, Michael Pavolano, Brian Kennedy, and Clint Fletcher following him.
Rafael Torres is the last car in the top 5 here that have kind of broken away here. He's turned a 121.8 as the car behind him, Dean Tulane, turned a 124.9. So about 3 seconds faster that last lap. I think that was because of the start, but see this next lap here as we see Torres with the 116.665 and Dean Tulane with a 117.756.
So a whole second faster there for every driver in the top 5. They're all separated by less than 1/10 of a second. That is wild. Dietrich actually the fastest car right here in 4th position, that 96 machine. Sporting looks like the Gulf colors. But they have lost touch a little bit with Treacle, who's still hanging on to these top two. Yeah, I'm not sure how he ran a faster lap, but
we've seen. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't know how he ran a faster lap, but must have had a bad couple of corners to start this one, as he is falling back there in that 4th position. But what were you gonna say?
So yeah, something we've seen the last few races. These guys, the top 5 usually stays pretty close between Ficacci, Hill, and these guys kind of been able. The top 2 this entire season has been Ficacci and Hill, as the rest of the guys kind of they stay with them for the first 6-7 laps, and then it seems after that, as once the little age gets into the tires, Ficacci and Christopher Hill just start pulling away from everybody. It will be interesting to see if Treacle, Dietrich, or Torres is able to stay with these guys, and especially Treacle, to see if he can stay with these guys and make it a 3-man battle for the win. If not, maybe we can have even more with these guys behind him as well.
Yeah, Treacle is 3rd in the standings, and he's really the only one with a shot at the championship at this point in the season. It would take some catastrophic events for those top 2, but he's put himself in position that if anything does happen, he could still capitalize. And right now doing the same on the racetrack. Let's look a little farther back. Adam Pohl, another driver in the top 5 in the standings, but right now running in 12th after starting 11th. Not quite his best performance these last few races, but we'll see if he can move forward from here.
For sure, and again, as we've said the last few weeks, after halfway in this race, again, we have the Driver of the Race award, I guess we call it. We pull him in, interview him, and you guys can all the fans can vote for their favorite driver and who they think deserves a Driver of the Race, which Adam Pohl could be in that talk as we go on further into this race, if he can get some spots back.
Yeah, 2 races ago. We've got some smoke down here in the hairpin. A little contact off the wall there for Adam Pohl, I believe. But Sten Sellier, I believe, was the driver of the day last week. We had Safe Ferris as well. And then also Christopher Hill. Those have been the 3 drivers of the day so far. Sellier back in the 19th position right now, not having his best performance either, but only really forwards to go from here for him.
For sure, and speaking of our driver of the days, I don't think Safe's in here, but our other driver of the day from Le Mans, Christopher Hill, starting to put a gap between him and Steve Ficacci, as Treacle's starting to get a little closer. As we got a battle, I believe, for the 4th position. Torres underneath Dietrich, and there's a little contact! Oh, contact in the wall! A tight squeeze as Dietrich gets put into the tire barriers by Torres.
Let's take a look back at this one, the replay. Dietrich and Torres side by side headed down into the corner here. And yeah, just went too wide, shoved him off in the tires, came up off the ground there. And they're able to continue, but that is definitely going to cause some damage to both of those race cars.
Wow, man, that's the weird corner, especially turn 8. It's just a tight corner and a weird apex to get into. Definitely hard to fit side by side with these BMWs you can see right there. And just behind them, a battle for the 6th position, Stefan Vappa, right underneath Dean Tulin. He's going to get that spot going into the fountain turn, as Michael Pabliano tries to close in as well on Tulin.
Yeah, so that's 6th, 7th, and 8th as Torres and Dietrich may have swapped positions once again, or they're still right on top of each other here, 4th and 5th, even with the damage. That's how far ahead they were to still hold on to these spots. But yeah, so a little bit of a breakaway now for the top 3, and then we got a 2-car battle, and then about well, it looks like Vappa has gotten away now from Tulin as he's gotten up into 6th. Tulin now holding off a few more. I heard some contact with the wall, not sure who that was. But one of these cars in this pack here just hit the wall pretty good as we could hear it on the camera. But able to continue on. I'm not sure. Back in 21st, Robert Benson, he's having some trouble.
More contact with, I believe that was Pabliano and Brian Kennedy. Made a little contact going into turn 11 to the tight right double apex right-handed hairpin, as we could say. It's definitely tight corner, getting on the brakes there. Usually a lot of contact made, and even when the Indy cars race here, it's a lot of contact in that corner as well.
Yeah, those things do not like tight radius corners. As through the fountain section we go. Pablano trying to find some way around Tulane, but not able to do so yet. Maybe an opportunity coming up here soon. He has closed in just about a half car length behind.
Yeah, he's definitely making some time up there. Let's see, I think Dean Tulane's kind of holding these guys up a little bit. He seems like he's not on pace as much, not on the pace that Pablano and Kennedy have with him. It seems as a little contact with the wall. I believe that was Clint Fletcher and the 18 car getting a little wide off turn 8. To keep it going, no, not much damage, but as we could also see, Tulane does have a little bit of left front damage, as the you can see the splitter on that car is raised up a little bit.
Yeah, I think that might have been from that lap 1 contact with the wall that we caught. You can see here the tight turn 11, and Clint Fletcher losing a little bit of ground there to Brian Kennedy, but able to still stay out in front of Peter Lanik, who rides in the 11th position. Adam Pohl still in 12th, has not been able to make up ground. A lot of these cars with damage back here too, at least some form of damage.
Yeah, a little contact gets, you get roughed up being back there, and all the checkups from the cars that are ahead of you. As we go into the fountain, Pablano's going to pass Tulane, and now Kennedy and Fletcher are going to try to close in and try to capitalize on getting some more positions here.
Definitely some awesome views here from Long Beach, this historic racetrack. They started racing here in the late 70s. Mario Andretti, the first F1 winner at this racetrack. So a lot of names have been made here or have won here. You can see how difficult it is. More contact with the wall. One of these guys, see that is coming out of turn number 8, I believe, that they keep making contact with the wall, and that's where that incident between Torres and Dietrich was. That was turn number 8. As they continue to battle. And Darren Treacle still trying to keep up with these top 2, but not having much luck at that right now.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of pulled away. Christopher hasn't fully pulled away from Ficacci yet. Treacle hasn't let Ficacci out of his sights yet, and his battle for 4th continues. I'm sure Aaron Dietrich might be a little hot under the collar there from having a little contact with Torres there a few laps ago in turn 8. But nonetheless, they keep it going straight. Vapa's kind of all by himself. Oh, trouble! Peter Lanik's around in turn 1.
Back, take a look here. Oh, yeah.
Just gets loose and into the inside wall there. Gets some left front damage, but able to keep it clean. Other than that, does have a little bit of left front damage there. Good thing for good save by him and not getting anybody else involved, because that could have been a big stack up in turn 1.
Yeah, just kind of lost it. Long, lazy slide there, and the car already had some damage, but he adds to it. Team gas burn, it looks like. And that number 294 back to 13th position now is Adam Pohl moving up to 11th now. Colin Kortnick in 12th takes a spot away from Peter Lanik as well.
I believe as well as the battle for 8th on the track, Brian Kennedy was able to get by Dean Tulane for the 8th position, and now Clint Fletcher is going to try to work on him for the 9th position now, as I think Tulane, that left front damage is really starting to hurt him, especially as they go down shore side drive there here at Long Beach. I think that car is definitely not driving as much as he would like it to, or as good as he would like it to. It seems like it's really starting to fall off here.
Yeah, looks like some understeer starting as he almost catches the wall. Here comes Fletcher, going to make the move down to the right side.
Wanted to make that pass, and he got it there.
Good
nice move by Fletcher. Now Adam Pohl's going to have a run down the straightaways. He almost gets into the wall, maybe brushes it, and he'll go down to the inside here in turn 6, and he's able to complete the pass.
Able to make that move, and Dean Tulane continuing to fall back from the 6th starting position, now back to 11th. That early mistake costing him here as the run goes on, and we are just 13 minutes into this race. Still a ways to go.
Still a pit stop to go.
Yeah, it's still at least one pit stop. This track just under 2 miles. Lap times in the 116 range, 117 range. So we should get, about 30.
Yeah, 25,
laps.
30 laps.
Yeah, something like that. So
Can't remember if we were turning laps quicker at Outland last week. I think we might have, but it's not right on par with the laps here at Long Beach.
Yeah, I think very, very close, within 5 or 10 seconds. But we turned a lot there, and that place was very difficult to pass. A little bit more room to race here at Long Beach, but still tight, technical. These street courses a challenge of their own compared to a closed circuit. As Adam Pohl starting to track down Clint Fletcher, this would be for the 9th position.
Look here, yeah, Pohl is starting to run down Fletcher here in the 18. An interesting livery on that car. It does look nice. A lot of vibrant, bright colors on that car for Clint Fletcher. As you can see, Pohl is starting to catch up a little bit and see if we can get him in the next few laps. But I do want to point out, as we go on later into this race, with the pace that Christopher Hill and Steve Ficacci and Dietrich are setting here, as we go on into this race after pit stops, lap traffic is going to become a thing as well. And it'll be interesting to see how lap traffic is going to affect this race, because this track is very hard and it's got a lot of technical corners where you cannot go side by side. As we got to spin in front of the leaders.
Oh no! Robert Benson.
Just as I'm saying that, oh my goodness, what a scare for Christopher Hill, but it cost him almost all of his lead.
Yeah, he just squeezed through. He actually hit both the 71 and the outside wall.
Oh yeah, he's got damage. He's got left front damage on the number. Oh no! Hey, he's got a lot of left front damage on that 101. I don't know if it's going to affect him with him having clean air, but I don't know if that car is going to be driving well as he had it before.
Yeah, well, it looked like it was going to be a walk in the park. He was holding a solid 1.5 second lead. That gets now cut in half, and you can see he is maybe starting to struggle a little bit. Ficacci maybe pulling a little bit more draft on these long straightaways under the bridges here. Going to try and close back in, and a little bit more drag now on the 101. And Darren Treacle still not letting these two get away, under 2 seconds behind Christopher Hill. Could come down to pit stops and who gets that clean air.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think that 101 is driving as good as it was before. It seems like Ficacci's able to make a lot more time up in the more technical corners that require all the downforce that you need there. But it looks like he'll able to get a big run off the corner and able to pull some time on him. But man, 2 weeks in a row, a lap car gets into Christopher Hill there and gives him some damage. So hopefully he's able to keep it up there and keep that car intact. Make it more interesting for the lead here if Ficacci can get closer to him.
Yeah, Christopher Hill probably saying, man, what have I got to do to get some good luck around here? It's he's got the lead finally for the first time in weeks, and it's just, man, another instance where lap traffic in the way. Nothing really that the 71 could do other than, not spin, but he was just parked right there in the middle of the track, kind of a blind entry to that corner. So, I think Christopher Hill did the best that he could to avoid it, but still making contact. And we do have 2 cars 1 lap down, David Curtis and Robert Benson. And then we've got about 4 or 5 cars that are 2/3 of a lap down, starting with Ben Sellier in 16th. Barry Bocaner, Matthew Stover, Nicholas Matthews all still on the lead lap, but 16th on back. So those guys will probably be right in the way at the end of this race.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Hopefully they don't spin in front of Christopher Hill. At least Christopher Hill's hoping that doesn't happen. Hate to see that happen. I will say though, in all those shenanigans that happened there, Trico is still within striking distance if Ficacci and Hill get to racing here pretty soon. I will say, Darren Trico's not letting them out of their sights there, and if anything happens, I guarantee you he will be right there.
Yeah, he might be in the perfect position, honestly, because Ficacci is closed up still 0.8 back, and Treacle hanging right around 2.1 off of Hill, and he's been in the mix the last few weeks. I think an issue on pit road possibly last week put him too far behind when it came down to the end of the race, but he's consistently been up here in the top 5, so
sure.
trying to set himself up for success.
So we see that battle for 9th continues to heat up there with Adam Pohl in the number 8 and Clint Fletcher in the number 18. Pohl's been kind of pressuring him for the last few laps here. He's kind of lost some time, but has gotten back up close to him. Be interesting to see what he can do here as we go down this backstretch and we go into turn 9.
Still a lot of work to do for a lot of these drivers. Approaching the halfway point Pole has only gained 1 spot. Colin Kortnick has gained 2 so far. Let's take a look at some other movers here. Big loser so far is Dean Tulane, who's fallen from 6th to 13th. Not what you want to be doing here, in that front end damage affecting him heavily. And when do pit stops start? Like David Curtis has made his stop already 4 laps ago. So he went with the short pit, but 1 lap down in 20th.
I would expect them to start pitting here with the next at least 5 to 10 laps. Could be even sooner than that. But I'm not sure. I think Hill and Ficacci will probably come in, and going to assume as well that Christopher Hill will probably take his faster pair once he pits. I'm not sure if it'll cost him any time, but it'll be interesting to see what happens when we come up to pit stops here.
And he has pulled a bit more of a gap out over Ficacci now, 1.4, 1.5. And continuing to try and end that gap before we get to pit stops. He's probably not going to be able to take any damage repair or very little on that race car.
I think he'd only be able to maybe get about a second of damage fix, maybe 2 seconds with how close Ficacci is to him if pit stops were to start happening here. I will say, though, Christopher Hill is still pulling a little bit of a gap on Ficacci, but is Ficacci saving his tires, trying to pace himself for the end of the race? Again, Ficacci hasn't been in this position as well in a few weeks, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here as we, once we come to pit stops, I should say. What could be happening is we see Clint Fletcher is going to be bringing her in this time by, so he'll be in the pits as he goes down pit road here. It'll be interesting to see if that starts dragging any of the leaders in, or any of the top 5 in.
Yeah, he brings it on the pit road. Working his way down into the pit stall here. Long pit road at this place. And it's also a curved pit road, as the front stretch really a big giant curve. And he does pull into his box there, going to get service started. There's a few spots here before they get him back out there. But that could, like you said, prompt some of these other drivers in the top 10 to maybe start making some moves. For sure.
Hey, and I'm interested here as we see Fletcher leaving pit road. I don't think Christopher Hill's going to run up onto him here. But any guys farther back, I would say from probably 10th on back, if they were to pit before Christopher Hill pits, I believe they would come out, if not right in front of him or right behind him, when pit stops do happen, especially with the pace that Hill's been setting here the last 17 laps.
Yeah, as Clint Fletcher not too far up the road from those race leaders, he finds himself probably about 5 seconds in front of Christopher Hill, not even that much, as they're both exiting the fountain section. Back to the right-hander.
Oh, trouble! Trouble in turn 8. The 17 of Matthew Stover is around, and he's into the wall there. He's trying to get her turned around here. Leaders are coming up onto turn 8 here, but I believe Stover is going to get it going before they get to him.
Able to get rolling in the right direction. Didn't hit anything initially, and then as he started to get spun back around, did hit the wall, and he finds himself just out in front of Clint Fletcher by about 3 seconds.
David Curtis might have missed turn 1. He gets it back going here. Don't think he spun or hit anything, but kept it on the tire barriers in turn 1. But as we go back to got a battle for 6 between Stefan Vapa and Michael Pabliano. Pabliano, I think, has ran Vapa down quite a bit here. He's closing in here for the 6th position.
Yeah, we saw Vapa get by Tulane
early in the race.
Yeah, a little while ago, and Pabliano, it took him quite a few laps to get by, so that was the difference, and now he has tracked him down. None of those guys making pit stops yet. We are just past halfway, so we're going to hear a quick word from our sponsors and a side-by-side commercial break. We will be right back. Beltway Brewing Company is located in Sterling, Virginia, and proudly represents the DMV area. Check out their lineup of unique IPAs, lagers, sours, stouts, and even seltzers. Savory and delicious empanadas by Peruvian Brothers are now available in their tap room. For all things Beltway, go to beltwaybrewco.com and follow at Beltway Brew Co. on social media. SEO Mike helps businesses of all sizes achieve higher search engine rankings to drive more traffic and increase sales. Contact SEO Mike today for a free website evaluation and quote. Mention this ad for 15% off your initial setup. SEO Mike, marketing websites on the internet since 1997. Visit SEOMike.com. Beltway Brewing Company, Cajun Fire, and Black Viking Breweries have joined together to brew this year's edition of Black is Beautiful with a unique twist. Beignets straight from New Orleans.
There go the fresh beignets.
Straight from New Orleans. Woo!
That's how it's done.
These delightful pastries combined with Madagascar vanilla beans and caramel malt bring a creme brulee quality to this stout and delicately balance the bold chocolate notes of the dark malt. Pouring a luxurious onyx hue, this big, easy drinking stout will reward you for supporting diversity in craft brewing. Targeting a launch date of February 19th, 2022, learn more at beltwaybrewco.com.
Welcome to V-Speed, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second going into turn one. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
Back at the racetrack now, we've had quite a few developments. Steve Ficacci has been involved in a couple of accidents. He spun on his own, and then he also got collected. Rafael Torres got into him as they were trying to get through one of these tight right-hand corners. He got shoved off into the wall, and we also had some issues right out in front of Christopher Hill, who is still on the racetrack, has not brought it down pit road, and has a 12.7-second lead over Torres. As Ficacci and also Treacle have brought it down pit road. Treacle had inherited second place about 4.5 seconds back, but it's been a bit wild here.
Yes, it has. Big developments, especially with Steve Ficacci spinning out and then getting put in the wall by Rafael Torres. Just bad developments here for Ficacci, and I think his quest for 4 in a row might be cut short here. After having those problems, but you never say never. Anything's possible, but definitely going to make Ficacci's run definitely harder to make 4 in a row happen.
Yeah, running right now in 13th. He's got a lot of ground to make up. Treacle about 6 seconds in front of him, so that's the difference. He was in front of Darren Treacle by about a second, and now back 6 behind him, so he's lost about 7 in total. Still waiting for Christopher Hill to bring it on the pit road. Not yet doing so. Really, most drivers have not pitted. Treacle and Ficacci, the two early drivers up there in the top 3, have brought it in. So we'll see if they make up ground with a little undercut.
Yeah, and trouble in the hairpin right in front of Darren Treacle, right in the middle of the track. Mike Nickham hits the pit barrels there as Ficacci has to avoid that. And he's able to miss it. But, yeah, might have costed Darren Treacle a little bit of time, but it looks like he's all good there. But yeah, interesting to see once Christopher Hill brings her down into pit lane. Might be this time by, as I believe Trico's trying to pull the undercut and see if he can gain any time on Hill.
Yeah, so what I'm seeing for pit road times for drivers taking pretty much fuel only. Here comes Christopher Hill. It's been in the 42.1 up to 44 second range, depending on how much fuel they're taking. And right now, Trico riding about 43 seconds behind by the time that Christopher Hill brought it in. So it's going to be very close if
It will be.
Christopher Hill does not have a perfect stop right here.
Yeah, we'll see as Hill is just into his stop. We're going to be feeling the car a little bit, as we can see here. Darren Trico is going into turn 9 here, bringing it into turn 10 and going to be coming out of the hairpin, but he will have the long straightaway to hit top end speed as Christopher Hill still in his box, just got released, and he'll be at the pit exit cone now.
Here comes Treacle down the front stretch.
Yeah, and, I think Christopher Hill gained even more time after that pit cycle.
Yeah, I think so as well. Looking at his time on pit road, 42.6. So must have been a little bit of difficulty or difference there with the timing and scoring based on the position on the track. Sometimes it's not quite what it seems, as Christopher Hill still out in front. The gap is about 6 seconds back to Treacle.
Yeah, man, I believe it's going to come down to here to Dietrich, Torres, and Ficacci for the podium here as well. Ficacci got really loosened off of turn 1 here, and I remember he did spin, so his tires are not as good as you can see him sliding that back end around off these corners.
And Aaron Dietrich closing in, going to try and get up there into that 3rd position. And Rafael Torres, who made contact with Ficacci, still riding in 5th, but actually pretty impressive that Steve Ficacci only lost 1 position after, what really looked to be, could have been the end of the race for him.
For sure.
He has a long ways to go, over 6 seconds up to Treacle, and Christopher Hill with a 6.1 second lead looks to be in commanding position to win this race.
For sure. Maybe the test might have changed here for Christopher Hill. After the dominance that we've seen out of Steve Ficacci, maybe he's just trying to turn it around here and see if he can go 3 in a row. And for sure, Ficacci finishes 3rd, and Hill is able to bring her home the winner. He's definitely going to have a good point stand and will gain some points back on the races that he's lost. Points to Ficacci after Ficacci's been winning lately. So be tightening up this points battles. We'll be going into the race next week.
Yeah, Spa is next week, and then
Oh boy.
and then Sonoma and Red Bull Ring to close out the season. So some opportunities. It's going to be a very tight championship battle. It was only a handful of points coming into this race, as Ficacci going to work his way past the lap machine right there and continue to try and track down Darren Treacle with not a lot of success at the moment, as Treacle still losing ground to Christopher Hill. Barring any major mistakes, Hill has this one in the bag, but don't want to curse him too soon here. He's still got to make his way around for 8.5 more minutes. Looking for other battles on the racetrack. Aaron Dietrich and Rafael Torres, that's going to be one of the closest ones. Those guys have been going at it since the drop of the flag. Torres almost catches the wall. Might have just got a piece of it and lost some time.
He's got too much damage. Definitely escape tragedy right there. Able to get it going here, but as we have our driver of the day polls up, Michael Pagliano started 8th and is in 6th. Adam Pohl started 11th. He's in 8th, and Colin Kornick 13th, and he is in P9 here. So driver of the day polls up for the fans. Go vote. Those are our 3 drivers tonight. We'll pull them in after your votes are in. But now, as you said, not too much action on the track for position, battle for position-wise, but still nonetheless always action on the track.
This guy's still pushing really, really hard. Cars starting to slide around these old tires. They don't really change tires in this series. I think they could if they wanted, but save some time. They just double stint it, and 40-lap race. You just go, you use them all up really here in this second stint. Taking a look here for battle for position. Brian Kennedy and Michael Pagliano, they're right on top of each other. That is for the 6th position. Brian Kennedy having a good run. He gained a few spots in the points after last week's event, and trying to continue to march forward here, looking for a solid top 10. Peaks right, not going to make it work.
On the nose. throwing him to the nose, letting him know he's there, trying to intimidate him a little bit there. You see, closing on the back, trying to get that run down this long front straightaway here, down Shoreline Drive, and see what he can get going into turn 1 here. As the draft is pretty big in these cars, it'd be interesting to see what he can do.
Yeah, Pablano going to be waiting for maybe a dive bomb attempt here as the laps start to wind down. They are right on top of each other. That is the closest battle for position on the entire racetrack. The next closest, about 2 seconds behind them, that is Adam Pohl, who continues to march forward here in the second half of this race after kind of a slow start up to that 8th position. And he's got 6th in his sights.
He does. Brian Kennedy's put together a solid season, as we've seen the last few races. He's been in the top 5 the last few races. 5th is a little ways ahead of these guys, about 10 seconds, but still trying to get these spots, pick them off one at a time. As Adam Pohl seems like he's starting to close in on these guys just a little bit as well.
Yeah, definitely closing in. Last time by, 0.3 faster than Kennedy, 1.1 seconds faster than Pablano, who is starting to fall off here. He's the slowest driver in the top 10 by a good margin. So maybe feeling the effect of using the tires up just a smidge too soon as they work towards the last corner here, turn 11. Still got 6th position over Kennedy, but you know, that battle's going to continue to get closer as Adam Pohl, another 0.2 chopped right off of those two.
That's a possibility here as we have the closing, about 3 minutes to go. Man, this race has went by really, really fast. A lot of action in the mid part and the beginning part, as well as this end part has been also rather interesting. Here, as we can see, not much more battles going on. Ficacci's kind of pulled away from Dietrich for the 3rd position as well. Rafael Torres got some cars ahead of him, but nothing too much going on here. It's just really between Pablano and Brian Kennedy here for the 6th spot, or as Adam Pohl is also starting to run these guys down a few tenths faster than these guys.
Yeah, 0.3 more that last lap, and the gap from Pohl up to Kennedy under 1 second now. He's got plenty of time to make it happen. He's got probably 3-4 more laps to get up there and challenge to get into the 6th position. As Christopher Hill, you know, we mentioned Steve Ficacci leading every single lap the last 3 races. Christopher Hill, he has led every single lap here tonight. Only a few more to go. 8.1 seconds in hand.
Especially this battle for 6 really going to heat up, as we can see ahead of these guys. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lap cars ahead of them that are all battling for position. So I don't think they're going to be giving up much time to these guys, especially Michael Pablano, Brian Kennedy, and Adam Pohl. Adam Pohl starting to close up into the 77's back bumper.
Yeah, that is quite the battle from 16th back to 20th. That is 5 cars separated by less than 2 seconds. Barry Buchanan in 16th, trying to hang on to that spot. You can see Nicholas Matthews right there, Matthew Stover, a few drivers that have had issues in this race, but very close on speed to one another. Mike Nickum, David Curtis, also fighting for positions, trying to get everything they can. Then Cellier just going a lap down in 15th, as he's driven up a few positions here in the second half of the race in the Beltway Brewing machine. Continuing to march forward, maybe with a shot at a couple more, barring mistakes from drivers up in front of him. But how are these two, Pablano and Kennedy, doing? Still right on top of each other, and Adam Pohl is there. He looks right, not going to make it happen this time, but flashing the lights, letting him know he's there. And he's probably going to do everything he can to grab these spots.
For sure, as we're coming to 2 to go here. Christopher Hill will probably have 2 to go, be coming to the white flag this next time by. Adam Pohl has been about a second faster than these two ahead of him. He does have a really good shot at getting the 6th place finish, especially as they're running up into these lap cars.
Yeah, still not quite there. Behind, that would be David Curtis, the last of those lap machines. They're not quite up to him yet.
Get ahead of him!
Oh, big crash!
Oh, he's gonna back
no.
up! Oh my goodness!
That was Barry Buchanan, who was leading that group, got into it with Nicholas Matthews. You take a look at the replay right here. Yeah, Matthews dove it in there, lost the front end.
This got right into him.
And then the 47.
Definitely probably scared Pablano, Kennedy, and Pohl a little bit, as Pablano's definitely, he's starting to reel in onto the back end of David Curtis in that 43 car. As I believe Christopher Hill might be taking the white flag here. I'm not sure. No, I think he just got 2 to go. So
Yeah, I'm seeing 2 minutes remaining in this one, so probably next time by we'll get the white flag. But Darren Treacle, real good run for him. He's been up in the top 3 all race. Could come home with a 2nd place, and he is closing in on Christopher Hill, who's probably starting to lay back a little bit here and just satisfied with his gap. As Adam Pohl still on the back bumper of Brian Kennedy, Michael Pavolano, and look at this, they've caught up to David Curtis.
the interesting these good. Blue flags are out for these guys. Curtis is going to pull to the right, let Pavolano go by. He's going to split the middle between these 3. As everybody will go by here, now there's just one more car to get by, and that's Matthew Stover. I think once these guys clear him, I think Pavolano might be able to hang on to the 6th position, but Kennedy and Pohl are trying to get by him here.
Yeah, they're doing everything that they can to close in, and that gap still just about 2 or 3 car lengths between each of those machines. As Christopher Hill working his way down towards turn 11. Round the hairpin here towards the start-finish line. Should be getting the white flag. We'll have to wait and see. Might get it next time by, though.
There it is. Yeah, he just took the white flag. Man, a perfect race by Christopher Hill, and a statement to Steve Ficacci that Christopher Hill is not going to back down without a fight. And if the championship's going to have to if you're going to have to fight for the champion, you're going to have to get through Ficacci. But I think Christopher Hill's saying that he's willing to take this fight if he can just hold on for this last lap here.
Yeah, and he's definitely let some time go on these last couple laps. But man, what a drive, you know, the adversity.
It's battle for 6 heating up. Kennedy's going to look low on Pavolano. Pavolano's going to run him tight. Contact.
Side by side down into turn number 1.
They're going to go into the fountain. What will Pohl do? Pohl's going to tuck in behind Kennedy. Kennedy's going to shove him. He's going to spin the 6.
Oh, and Pohl gets tagged. Oh, they're still wrecking a little bit. Pohl, though, goes around. Brian Kennedy able to squeak by all of that after kind of causing it. He's able to drive on.
It's going to lose so many spots. Backs it into the wall, trying to get it turned.
As Christopher Hill so far ahead across the line. He is going to win here in Long Beach. What a drive from Christopher Hill. Congrats to him. Taking the win, breaking the streak of Steve Ficacci. But a good recovery for Ficacci. He should come home 3rd here as they work towards, he works through the final corner and across the stripe now. Let's see if there's any battles between, it looks like Brian Kennedy's still going to hang on to 6th. As that dissolved after he made contact with Pavolano.
As they go into that fountain corner, that definitely held up there. But again, congratulations to Christopher Hill, making a statement today, winning all the races. He's going to burn it down in turn 1 here. Under the Frontier Communications Bridge, and get the fans a show here on Shoreline Drive.
Yeah, so Christopher Hill going to take the victory tonight at Long Beach. We'll be back with him and the top 3 finishers and the driver of the day in just a few moments. Huge hit right there while we're doing the slow-mo. Beltway Brewing Company, Cajun Fire, and Black Viking Breweries have joined together to brew this year's edition of Black is Beautiful with a unique twist. Beignets straight from New Orleans.
There go the fresh beignets.
Straight from New Orleans. Ooh.
That's how it's done.
These delightful pastries combined with Madagascar vanilla beans and caramel malt bring a creme brulee quality to this stout and delicately balance the bold chocolate notes of the dark malt. Pouring a luxurious onyx hue, this big, easy drinking stout will reward you for supporting diversity in craft brewing. Targeting a launch date of February 19th, 2022, learn more at beltwaybrewco.com. Back at the racetrack now, going to be pulling in our driver of the day, Colin Kortnick. Let's see if we can get him in here. And Alec, I believe you're with him.
No way.
Yeah. The fans
right.
voted for you. Started 13th, finished 7th, up 6 spots. I think you were biggest mover of the race. So congrats on that, man. Take us through the race.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, honestly, right? I mean, you guys watched the race. It's hard to pass. I was pretty bummed on my last quali lap. Had a great lap going, and I screwed up one of the turns in the last sector, and that probably would have put me kind of where I finished. So, it's just hard to make up all that time, especially the way that we were trying to do with the start and trying to make it fair and not have a wreck fest. But I'm happy, I feel bad for Adam. It was hard to catch him, and I think he spun or got hit in the last lap, so he dropped a few spots. Otherwise, I think he would have had the driver of the day. But I'll take it. But the practice drove a pretty clean race and minimized the mistakes and just kind of let myself move up the ranks with that.
For sure, man. Believe next week we go to Spa. How you feeling that? I know it's a totally different track compared to Long Beach, but
Slightly different, right? A little bit different.
Just a little bit. Got a long straightaway on there, but.
It's my favorite track. I love that track, but it's a lot of the guys' favorites too. So should be really, really competitive. Just like this race, right? If you looked at the quali, how many of us were within a second? I think 15 or so. So it's just awesome racing with these guys and having these close battles that are just forming between a few of the guys, and it's just so much fun. I can't wait for Spa next week.
For sure, man. And again, before we let you go here, anybody want to give a shout out to?
To my Gasperin team, got Peter Lanigan there. I know he had an unfortunate spin. Otherwise, he had good pace. But all the gas burners that were out there, Brian Kennedy, and then to Beltway Brewco, always doing the great job supplying us with all of our tasty beverages that we need. So thanks for them and for Chris and Darren and all that they do from a sponsorship perspective.
For sure, man. Well, we're going to let you celebrate that driver of the day, man. Heck of a drive getting up there, and we'll see you next week in Spa.
Thanks. Can't wait to pour that whiskey. All right.
All right.
Cheers, guys.
For sure,
Cheers.
man. Have a good one.
That is driver of the day, Colin Kortnick. We're going to be pulling in third place finisher now. That is Steve Ficacci. Get him up in here. Steve Ficacci, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I do. How are you?
Oh, not too bad, man. Your streak's broken here tonight, but a good drive to get back up onto the podium. You had the late mistake there with the spin. Had a little contact with Torres, but man, describe your race here. You were running second and come home here on the podium.
Yeah, I started qualifying. I put a fairly decent lap down early, but I couldn't put one together later in the run, which a little disappointing. I had some more pace. I just couldn't get all the corners together, and we did the single file start just to kind of get everybody through the final hairpin there, which is tough. And kind of put me behind, and it's a really, really tough track to pass unless the car in front of you makes a mistake or you really force it. So I was just kind of following Chris there, and I wasn't quite as fast as him, but I want to say like 10-12 laps in, I kind of figured out one or two corners, just had to do them a little bit better. And I think at that point, I kind of, if I was closer, I had a chance, and then he had a lap car, I got a little closer, but yeah, then we started to go through lap traffic, and one of the cars was kind of in the way, and I don't know, I should have gave more room, but I didn't want to lose any time, so I chose to lose a lot of time by spinning out. And then I just hit a little bit early, had some clean air, got back up to third, and that was just kind of the best I was gonna be able to do at that point.
Yeah, still a really good recovery, kind of minimizing the damage. And this championship battle, it's going to come down to the wire. You got 3 races remaining. Next week we go to Spa. How do you feel about going out there?
I don't really like the rest of the schedule, not gonna lie. Hoping Spa's maybe big enough where we can draft and kind of hang on, but not really counting on it. I think Chris drives as good as did today, which was fantastic. It's gonna be down to the wire.
Yeah, definitely going to be an exciting championship battle. We are so looking forward to it. Not going to get 4 in a row here tonight, but still a very strong finish up on the podium once again. Anybody you want to give a shout out to for third place?
Yeah, sure. Just to thank my wife and the VRG guys, Rick Slicks and SEO Mike. Probably something I'm forgetting, but that's going to be it for now.
Awesome, Steve. Well, go celebrate the third place finish here, and we'll catch you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Third place, Steve Ficacci. We go now to second place, Darren Treacle in the number 70 machine. And Alec, I believe you're with him.
I am. Alec Martinez and Adam Baker in the VC booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Alrighty, man. You bring her home in second, qualified in third. Just a little short, obviously, with able to capitalize on the mistake that Steve Ficacci made. Man, take us through the race.
Yeah, it was a good race. I'm happy with where I finished, as always. And I was just kind of had a good qualifying and got up to third. And then in the race, I was just hanging out behind Chris and Steve as usual. And I think something happened between Steve and Robert Benson there when we were coming by him, and Steve looped it, so that allowed me to get up in the second. I just didn't have the pace really to catch Chris or do anything. I thought maybe I could do a pit stop, but I kind of messed up a little bit on that. But and catch him and get a little closer, but it didn't happen. And then it was just a matter of maintaining my pace and not screwing up to finish in second. Really, is what it came down to. But all in all, it was a good race. I had a good time, and I like the track. It's kind of a love-hate relationship with Long Beach, but.
Yeah, for sure, man. Next week, we go to Spa up in Belgium. How you feeling for that race?
I feel pretty good about Spa. I've been there. It's a completely different track than Long Beach, obviously.
Sure.
It's a tough track. It's a fast track. But I feel good. I like Spa. I've raced there several times, so yeah, bring it on. Should be fun.
For sure, man. Looking forward to seeing you out there next week. Before we let you go, anybody want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, just the norm. Treacle Insurance Agency, which is my insurance agency, and Haggerty Motorsports. We insure race cars and collector cars through them. And then SEO Mike for jumping on board, and Sten at Beltway Brewery for staying on board. You guys for putting on the broadcast, and then Scott for setting everything up.
Awesome, man. Well, again, go celebrate your P2. Look forward to seeing you next week at Spot, man.
Thanks. Take care, Alec. Take care, Adam.
Thank you, man. Have a good one.
You too.
Hey, how's it going? Pretty good. I mean, this is a track I've enjoyed a lot, and it's it's definitely challenging with a very narrow margin for error and such, and I don't know, it just kind of clicked with me this week. It was I could see it in practice last night a little bit that there was I had a little bit of an advantage over some of the field, and was just hoping it would hold through, and gave myself a heart attack through qualifying there, just because I knew that if I qualified behind, there was almost no place to pass here, kind of a deal, and I just kept messing up qualifying laps, and then finally snuck it in on the last lap there by a couple thousandths. It was a little bit of glad that worked out in the long run, but yeah, great to get a victory. It's been a little while. Steve's had quite the streak there, and hopefully we can keep this going, moving through the last half of the season here, and give him a good run for the championship if at this point. So. Well, it definitely gave me a moment for a second there, because yeah, it was a little bit of a little bit of a heart stopper. You know, came out of turn one and I don't know who it was, but you know, sideways and um, just barely enough space to fit through, and even you know got a little damage on the front end there as it went by him. So you know, it all worked out in the long run, but it was for a moment there. It was pretty much a I thought it might have been a bigger moment, and thank God there was just enough space to make it through and not have anything worse than a close call. But um, yeah, I mean, it's one of those tracks though that it's like you know anything little thing goes wrong and it's pretty much a race ender or at least you know takes you out of the hunt. So very fortunate to avoid the chaos because it sounded like Steve also got involved in a little chaos behind me too, and that contributed obviously to him falling back a bit. So. Pretty good. Spa's been a good track for me. I mean, honestly, the last three tracks are ones that I feel pretty good about. You know, Steve's always strong pretty much everywhere we go, so it's you know, who knows how you know if I'm going to have any advantage or not. But I feel that at least I should be you know pretty competitive and hopefully putting it up on the top there or pretty close to it throughout the whole thing. So we'll see. I mean, it's going to be fun. I mean, I think it's going to come down to, you know, to the wire here of who pulls this one off. And yeah, hopefully we can do it. So
Yeah, maybe we'll get a Max Verstappen Lewis Hamilton championship battle tied going into the last race. Could be interesting.
Well, it's a good thing we don't have a race director that, you know.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, great run here tonight. Your third victory of the season. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Well, you know, always got to mention my company, Precision Racing Instruction. We do provide instruction both in the sim and in the real world. And anybody's looking to get a little faster can always hit us up on either Instagram or Facebook. Also, definitely want to thank the wife for supporting me in my sim racing hobby. And also want to give a shout out to my dad. He's not necessarily feeling the greatest these days, so I'm kind of want to dedicate the win to him. And you know, hope he is doing better coming along here. So, yeah.
Awesome, Chris. Well, we'll be thinking of him as well. And congrats on the victory. Hopefully it lifts his spirits a little bit. Great drive out there tonight. And we will catch you next week at Spa.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Hey, man, congrats, man.
Thanks.
Go to the rest of the results here tonight before we head on out. Taking a look here. It's going to be off by one position, actually, because we had a bit of a scoring issue with Christopher Hill doing his burnouts. iRacing elected to disqualify him, but he is your race winner here tonight. Darren Treacle second, Steve Ficacci third, Aaron Dietrich fourth. Rafael Torres going to come home in the fifth position, Brian Kennedy in sixth, Michael Pavolano in seventh, Colin Kortnick in eighth, Peter Lanik finishes ninth, and Dean Tulin going to finish in the 10th position.
Finishing 11th is Clint Fletcher, 12th, Adam Paul, 13th, Peter Yerkes, Stefan Vapa, 14th, 15th, Sten Sellier, 16th, Matthew Stover, 17th, David Curtis, 18th, Mike Nickham, 19th, Barry Bocaner, and 20th, Nicholas Matthews.
21st was Robert Benson, and Carlos Bonds rounding out the field here tonight did not take the green flag, so 21 drivers did start the race. And 21 drivers finished the race. We only had 13 on the lead lap, but like everybody who started ended up coming across the stripe there at the end. So love to see that. Very entertaining race here from Long Beach for race number 7 this season. 3 more to go. Going to be an exciting championship battle. Alec, any last thoughts here before we head on out?
A lot, really. I mean, heck, as everybody said, or as you just said as well, championship battle it's looking like it's coming down to the wire, and we said Christopher Hill made a statement there saying pretty much making a statement to Steve Ficacci saying we have a chance, that he has a chance of winning this championship for sure and winning, and Ficacci finishing in third. Ficacci's going to lose a little bit of points and Christopher Hill's going to gain points there, and as I think, or hearing Christopher talk there in his interview, he said he likes the last 3 tracks that are on the schedule, which is Spa, Sonoma, and then Red Bull Ring out in Austria. So I'm curious to see how quick and how tight this battle is going to close up. Christopher Hill, he's a man on a mission, and breaking that streak that Ficacci had over the last 3 weeks might change the momentum here as we go late into the season in these final few races here. But man, a great race, great battles on the track, especially in those last few laps from 6th on. Just good racing all around. I'm excited to see Spa's, as Darren Chico said, it's a totally different animal and a totally different track compared to Long Beach. Long straightaways, draft, and long laps too. So I'm curious to see how Spa's going to look. And Spa's a wild track and can definitely, we've seen big wrecks there a lot, especially going up at Rouge. So it'd be interesting seeing how Spa turns out between everybody. And again, leave all the viewers out here that are watching, you guys are in for a treat, especially next week. We're all in for a treat next week to seeing how this battle continues on for this championship. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope some of you guys are. And it's a great show tonight. And looking forward to seeing how the racing's going to be next week, and hoping everybody enjoyed the night, because man, that was awesome.
Yeah, I really did enjoy it here. Long Beach, such an awesome legendary track, and Spa just as legendary in many different ways. But Christopher Hill, your race winner tonight, will be headed over to Twitch right after this for V-Speed After Dark. Tune in right around 10 o'clock Eastern time. Gonna be Cadillacs at Talladega. Looking forward to that one. Should be very, very fun. And we will be back right here Tuesday next week with the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series for their second race, Milwaukee. That's going to be a fun one. And then right back here at Spa next Thursday. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed, hit that like button or subscribe. Make sure to follow us on all the different social media outlets you see on your screen. And we will catch you all next time.